Hello, my name is Christopher Collins, and I am a student in ERA 288, and the teacher is Corey Greenlaw. This is our final presentation for our program evaluation, and I will be presenting on the program for sophomores, a collegiate sophomore support program from Colorado College. It's called the Sophomore Jump Program, and I'm gonna do a program evaluation up on that. And so here we go. Just to give you a little bit of info about Colorado College, it's a small liberal arts college. In Colorado, it has about 2,000 students. 500 of them are in the sophomore jump program there. Um, One of the big issues or one of the factors that is kind of facing the institution is that it doesn't really have a counseling office or like a counseling resource center there on campus. And so this sophomore jump program, it actually acts as the counseling portion or resource on campus, along with campus faculty and staff. They actually, so basically students get either individual counseling from their faculty or staff, or they actually go to this sophomore jump program, which is primarily predicated for sophomore students. Um, a little bit about the program. It's a co-curricular advising program. Like I said, it's kind of like the bridging piece for students to get advising help with any types of issues or instances they may have. Um, Something that the program does offer, it has a series of programs, workshops, and they're really big on these dinners. They're like a series of dinners. It's about six of them that they have, where students actually get the opportunity to engage with faculty, with staff about their possible career aspirations, maybe selecting a major, or just seeing that they're growing as a whole as a student there at Colorado College. I want to just read to you just a little bit the actual program outcomes, just so you get a better idea of what they really want the sophomores or the students to really participate in. Is to continue to develop their sense of belonging on campus, as well as their strategies for achieving academic success and personal well-being, to cultivate relationships with faculty beyond their advisors and professors, understand academic programs that are available, and possess the tools to make informed decisions about their majors by the end of the academic year. Learn about off-campus and study abroad programs, as well as grant, fellowship, and research opportunities in order to maximize their time and experience at Colorado College. And then know how to and find and apply to internships, and how to narrate their experiences to potential employers. So those are just some of the program regards for the program aspects, or the outcomes that they have. It's currently staffed by two people. I interviewed both of them, and Tracy Freeman and Jennifer Slides. Um, their program has an abundance of money, so they get a great deal of money coming in. Students pay about $60,000 in tuition, and it's full pay. Another thing is that they have a high graduation rate with 90%. That was a university overall. That's what I got from interviewing Miss Freeman, just talking to her about the program. Um, and then how they measure their metrics, or I guess whether they see if this sophomore jump program is working or not, is really based off a student's experience. So they don't really have any quantitative numbers, so to speak, or any, I guess, hardcore data that can say, 60% of this or 40% of this has equated to the program being successful. But they do see that as long as the student is getting a great experience through the entire program and their entire stay at the college, they see that the program is really working. The program has been up and running for 8 years now. And as far as measures are concerned, they don't really have any, I guess, concrete things to look at. Like as far as like their student has to have this or their student has to have this. As long as their student is, I would say, engaging in these outcomes, they see that as a perfect way for the student to be getting the most out of the program. For my program evaluation, though, what I would implement uh, is that I would implement a series of questionnaires and surveys. First, I would have a Likert survey, which is on a 5 point scale, and it would be composed of 10 questions. These questions were just trying to see if the programs and the resources that the students are using within the sophomore jump program, if they're satisfactory, if they find that they're beneficial, if they find that they're, tackling some of their key concerns and needs, I would create a survey. And based on that survey, a passing score would be a 22. It's composed of 7 questions. And out of those 7 questions, if you scored or if just put yourself as neutral on this Likert scale, you'd have a score of 21, which is kind of like a score of neutrality. So in order to pass, you need a score of 22. Just to give you a brief synopsis of the questions, I'll just read them off to you, and they're based off of strongly, disagree, either neutral, agree, or strongly agree. And here go the questions. The sophomore jump program prepared me for my junior year. I would recommend this program to all incoming freshmen of Colorado College. I was able to build a network and key skills from the sophomore jump program. I avoided the sophomore slump because of the sophomore jump program. Because of the sophomore jump program, I selected a major and that I am comfortable with. The sophomore jump program allowed me to engage with faculty and administration to build positive relationships. And the last question is, the sophomore jump program helped me to explore future career aspirations. So based on that Likert scale, we would give that to all the sophomores in the program. And we would see if, as a whole, you know, which questions on that instrument, graded the highest, which one had the lowest scores. And overall, just to see how the actual attitudes of the students are. Yeah, they do have a 90%, graduation rate, and they have a lot of money, behind them in the school. But it's kind of all about the students. The program has been running for 8 years. It's just that they don't really have any, quantifiable data. So getting quantifiable data from that Likert survey, that'll be a first step. I also have a series of interview questions and focus group questions that we would ask just so that they can have some qualitative, data, because they're real big on the student experience and qualitative analysis. And some of those questions would be, what areas did the program help you with personally? How were you treated by staff and administration in the program? What did you like the most and least about the sophomore jump program? And what is the greatest benefit of the program? So questions like that would allow students to engage and expound a bit more further from a qualitative perspective. And so that would be what my program evaluation would attempt to do. We would attempt to see what areas on the Likert scale had the highest and the lowest, numbers based on all the students that enroll, because there are 500 sophomores. And then on top of that, we would take the qualitative answers, and then we would just keep record of those and see what is actually working, what actually isn't, and then hopefully the program can make, some changes, if they see need fit to make the program that much better in the future. The program does have great success, obviously, if they have a 90% graduation rate and they have a lot of money behind them. That's something to really, that they really take, I guess, pride in. But just to make sure that the student is getting a satisfactory experience because they say it, but just to hear from the student's mouth is that's another, I guess, another action in itself. I would just also like to go over with my program evaluation just some of the costs of the program. About those dinners, once again, they have a choosing of a major dinner, which is about a $5,000 event. One of the actual issues that they're really having with the sophomore jump program is their students come in and they don't really have a major, so they try to give them incentives, or they try to give them prizes or some type of push technique to get them to choose them. So they have these dinners, which is one time a year. And it's about at $5,000. There's also 6 block dinners. Those were those dinners that they have with the faculty to get to know about their the careers, aspirations, what the faculty is doing, and possibly to get a mentor as a faculty member. And there's 6 of those block dinners, and about 20 people attend those, and it's about $25 a plate, which is equal to about $3,000 per dinner, or for all the dinners. And then they have this venture grant dinner. Colorado College is real big on sending their students abroad, and so there's this venture grant dinner where the students, once again, they intertwine with faculty, and it's about 50 people at $10 a dinner or a plate. That equates to $500, and they have one of those. And so they're real big, I guess, on the whole fellowship amongst one another at the around dinner and food. So that's something that they really pride themselves in. But once again, just to my overall program evaluation, I would it would include finding more quantitative data via the Likert scale. Once again, keeping up with the qualitative data of the focus questions and the interview questions, and then from there, just seeing if the actual program, and it's successful now, but just to see what the actual success of it is, just going forward. So that would probably be my program evaluation for the sophomore jump program at Colorado College.